Do you like NASCAR? Do you like a Tribe Called Quest? Well, you gonna love the Urban Conservative.
Do you like manwich and nachos? Well, then you'd love the Urban Conservative.
Do you like guns? Do you like butter? Well, you're gonna love the Urban Conservative.
Yo, what's good, son? You like Pitbull, say? You like solving Sudoku puzzles? Then you gonna love the Urban Conservative.
Hey, buddy, if your car making a sound like this, you might want to get you some power steering fluid and check out the Urban Conservative podcast.
Are you repulsed by the idea of drag queen story time at your local library, but enjoy Carol Baskin TikTok memes? Then you would enjoy the Urban Conservative. Do you want to slap your boss and then go home and make yourself some golden brown pancakes covered in butter and freshly made warm boysenberry syrup? Then you'll love the Urban Conservative.
You're a little over Cardi B, and you're repulsed by the thought of Hogmaw. Check out the Urban Conservative. You ready? If you think the earth is flat and always on that weird side of YouTube, check out the Urban Conservative. They'll set you straight.
If you're in a chasing dopey and you love South Fishing Festival, check out the Urban Conservative.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. It's Monday night. It's time for the Urban Conservative Podcast live. You are checking us out on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and or Twitter. We appreciate you being with us each and every Monday night for the Urban Conservative Podcast. I am Abdul Ali. I'm joined by my twin brother, Raheem Architect Soto, who is slightly under the weather right now.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that. This weather change, the nostrils, the never-ending faucet of a nose. Yeah.
Never-ending faucet of a nose. See, we didn't get that kind of weather down here. That's why I moved to North Carolina, bro. I never was a fan of those New York winters, man. Just
Yeah, the transition is a bit rough. The transition is definitely a bit spotty. But do the spiel.
Well, if you haven't done so already, ladies and gentlemen, please jump on over to tuconservative.com. Get yourself a membership. That Hamilton plan, still only $10. You get the unadulterated news feed, but you get a wonderfully curated news feed. You get to join a growing community of folks that want to help us spread conservative values into urban communities across this great nation of ours. You get access to the blog, and you also get special heads up when we do events in a city or town near you. And that helps us not have to sell a bunch of crap during our shows. That means you don't have to buy the wallet, light, can opener, tire inflator combo while you're watching the Urban Conservative Podcast. You don't have to do that. So we got a couple of things we're going to talk about on tonight's show. As everybody knows, unless you're living under a rock, Donald Trump is set to turn himself in. What was that, tomorrow at 10 a.m., bro?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like 10 a.m. tomorrow. So you've got Donald Trump getting ready to turn himself in tomorrow at 10 a.m. And if you don't know what's going on with the case, we just not going to spend a whole lot of time because everybody and their uncle and their mama, cousin, niece's nephew, everybody talking about this Donald Trump thing. So a couple of things you need to know. He's expected to be arraigned on about 30 charges in New York tomorrow. The indictment remains sealed, so the exact charges are still unknown. They're expected to be related to hush money payments made ahead of the 2016 election to two women who claimed to have had affairs with Trump. He was denied the affairs and any wrongdoing. And then Trump was indicted last week by a Manhattan grand jury convened by District Attorney Alvin Bragg. There's a picture of Alvin Bragg, like they photoshopped him on a baby. I don't know if you saw that one with the George Soros holding him as a sweet little baby. Did you see that one?
No, I missed that one.
Oh, it's funny. Trump is the first former president to have been impeached twice and the first to be criminally indicted. I think this is straight politics at play. I'm not even going to belabor the point. We all know what it is. I think they just got Trump reelected. They just at least got Trump the nomination, the Republican nomination again at this point, because I don't see how you take him down. This guy's like the Teflon Don. I mean, you just can't take him down. But that's what's happening. Unless you live under a rock, stay tuned. We're going to see what happens in the morning. If you join us for top of the morning, we'll talk a little bit more about it. But that is what is going to be happening in the world of Trump. Indicted, 30 charges. There's a lot of talk about comparing this to the Bill Clinton hush money, the 850 grand that went to, what was her name? Paula Jones, I believe her name was. Clinton actually threw, what was it? 850 grand to Paula Jones. Reason and people are saying, oh shoot, I'll just share it. Why not? Yeah, this is what's happening. So now they're saying that this meme doesn't really reflect everything because all of the facts in the Paula Jones case were public. So that's not really a fair comparison. But I don't recall FBI raiding Bill Clinton's crib. I don't recall any DAs going after Bill Clinton. I just don't recall that. If you remember that, let us know. I don't remember that. I could have swore they just let him give her the money and that was the end of that. I don't know. Did Monica Lewinsky get paid out of all of that too? I don't know. I wonder if she ever got a check. I mean, Monica had to get a check. I mean, there was a book out of that or something. So I'm thinking there's a book in this for Stormy or whatever the case may be. Then you got to remember, Stormy Daniels, my brother told me, I did not know this, actually said she never had an affair with Trump. So we'll see how this all pans out come tomorrow. We'll take a look at this and see if Trump gets, he said it's not going to go in handcuffs. So we'll see how this works out. But what we're going to do is take a very quick commercial break here on the Urban Conservative. We're going to come back and talk a little bit about the black media and the influence that the air finger quote black media is having on some of these urban centers. We'll be right back on the Urban Conservative podcast. Don't go nowhere.
Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Urban Conservative Podcast. You're checking us out live on a Monday night. You're joining us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Yeah, we're kicking it on a Monday night with y'all. Raheem is a little under the weather, not really feeling himself today, so I'm kind of steering the ship. The other thing we needed to talk to y'all about this Monday night, we had a little bit of an interesting off-the-air conversation about black media and the role that black media, the Charlemagnes and all of these people are having on the culture, on American culture, and why people, for some reason, tend to think that stuff is really representative of black folks. Like all black people listen to Charlemagne the God and the Breakfast Club. That's what we all listen to. I don't know why. I think that's what they all think we listen to because we're not good enough for talk radio and such. I don't think we're savvy enough. What was the name of it? Oh, Rob might be jumping off because
I'm hitting the eject button. I'm hitting the eject button. All right, y'all. I can't do it. I'm trying to stand here and do the show. You ever have so much nasal leakage that all you can do is blow your nose?
Wow. Yeah, he said so.
I have to hit the eject button on you, bro. I have to. I'm not well.
All right. Well, this is the joy of live podcasting, ladies and gentlemen. You just heard Raheem tap out. But one thing we want to do real quick, I want to take a look at something real fast. Because when you think black media personalities, right, African-American personalities, you think people like Byron Allen, things like that, Tyra Banks. What's the comedian guy, Dre, the guy with the mustache that's always the comedian? Family Feud guy. What's his name? Steve Harvey. You tend to think of people like that when you think about black media and all of that kind of thing. But here's the interesting part. Typically, you don't think conservative when you think of black media. Typically, you think left-leaning, you think Democrat. You really don't think conservative when you think black media, unless you're thinking about somebody like a Candace Owens. You're thinking about somebody like Larry Elder out in California. But those folks don't get told that they are, quote unquote, part of the black media sphere. They get told that they're sucking up to the white man, the boot kissers for the white man and all that kind of thing. But in the meantime, what we get fed as black media, especially these days when we're living in the TikTok generation, we're living in the YouTube short generation, we're living in the short form content generation, where all you get fed are these rappers. And we get fed all the rapper beef and the drama from 1990, who was shooting at who and who sold all the drugs to who. That's what we get fed on the internet as that is black media. And we are here to tell you folks, that's not just the whole kit and caboodle of black media. But these folks are a part of the problem that are exacerbating the problem, because if I know, and I'm saying this because we talked about this morning on the platform on Top of the Morning. We talked about this, folks. These younger generation of people, we're in our early 40s, mid 40s. There's a generation of people my son's age, 19, 20, and a little younger, that really, really feel like they have no option other than to live on the streets. They really devalue life. And this is something that we can see. It's evident. We talked about it this morning. When you look at who's perpetuating the crimes, who's the victims of the crimes, or where the crimes are happening at. And yes, it's disproportionately minorities being affected by the crime on both sides of it, perpetuating the crime, committing it, and as victims. So we do have to do a better job of holding the media accountable and saying, hey, why aren't we shining a light on this? Why is it only blows up when it's a white cop shooting a black guy, or it's a white cop shooting, a Spanish guy? It's never the other way around. And it's a media issue. And that's something that the black media, particularly when you hear these people identify, like Charlemagne said, you can't do this to black media when he was talking to Joe Biden, as if the Breakfast Club is the end all beat all of media for black folks. That's what we all listen to. We don't listen to any quality talk radio or anything like that. But one thing we got to look at, folks, and we'll talk more about this on the morning show throughout the week as we find out what happens with Trump. If they can do this to a president, if we have media that's not going to ask the tough questions, we have journalists. We're hearing this right now with the weaponization of government subcommittee. We're hearing that these people are working against us becoming critical thinkers. They're working against us becoming able to pull the veneer back, pull the shades back a little bit, and find out exactly what's going on. So what we're going to do here is we're going to continue to work as hard as we possibly can to uncover the truth for y'all, so you're not in the dark. But ladies and gentlemen, this evening on the Urban Conservative Podcast, we're going to cut it a little short because Raheem is under the weather. We're going to come back tomorrow morning for Top of the Morning right here on the Urban Conservative. That way, y'all get the full 30-minute jump off. I do not have the technical capability, so we're going to holler at y'all first thing in the morning for Top of the Morning right here on the Urban Conservative, y'all.